people, and 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 so from time to time you will see me call these meetings like this, but typically they'll be during key times of the day or maybe key times of the early morning. But one of the things I want to teach you today before I even get into my slide presentation is that, the market was a lot higher earlier. We actually went up to, if you look, and I'll use the S&P as an example, and I can use the QQQ also. I'll use QQQ, everybody can relate to that. QQQ was like at 507. On the QQQs at 502. It's down 5 points from where we opened the cash market. Let me explain the mechanics of what you deal with when you have a rally like this. The people that make markets, they're no smarter than you. It's just that they've got a better, what I would call, an analogy would be they're on the 50-yard line of the action where you might be in the end zone, okay? Using a football comparison. So they have to acquire stock to go higher. And to do that, as a general rule, when you see this kind of outsized gains like this, it shakes them up because they got, most of them are market neutral. They're playing both sides against the middle. And so you can expect sometime when you have a run like this for there to be what I call a rebalancing. That's what's going on right now, a rebalancing in the market. Now, once that rebalancing occurs, okay, then the real trend will emerge again, and stocks you sold out because you didn't want to lose your profits, okay, will reverse and go back up to higher levels. Does everybody understand this concept? They use it on you all the time. They don't use it on me anymore because I figured it out years ago, but they use it on you all the time because you're sitting there going, man, I'm long AMD is at 111. Now it's 107. Oh, I'm going to lose all my profits. So you get out. Everybody understand that? Okay. That is what happens to people this time of day, is that mindset goes in there. But you got a great tool. Well, you got a couple of great tools, okay? One of the great tools that we have now that I'm beta testing inside TNT is the sunrise signal. At 10 after 8 this morning, people in there saw that the start of the correction had started. How valuable is that? I mean, I don't know how I trade without that signal, I mean, it popped up there and I instantly started cleaning the deck on a lot of stuff I was long from last night. That's an example. The other tool that you have, okay, is the reference bars. You know the times. I've given you the times, and the times are 9:30 to 10. On a day like today, you expand that to about 10:30. That's usually why I come on at 10:30 to see, hey, did we really have a reversal? That sometimes happens. Or is this just one of those days that the people on the 50-yard line are trying to get you to get out of your good place? Am I making sense covering this concept? I want you to understand it, because for years I would have great trades and give away my great gains because I was afraid of losing my profit. Okay, good. So that, if you don't learn anything else today, learn about what I call the rebalancing act of the market makers, okay? And I just wanted to go over that. Now, I will tell you that tremendous gains. I was up last night. I went to bed after I talked, and then I was up last night at 2:30 in the morning. I woke up and I actually saw, you can see one channel, the only time I ever go there for TV is in the middle of the night in Bloomberg, because they had coverage of the press conference that Scott Bessent and Jameson Greer gave this morning. I listened to every word of it. I knew after hearing that people were going to start buying this market when they woke up. And they did. When people woke up in New York at 6 o'clock, they started buying the market. people wake up in Chicago, they start buying the market. But the point being is you could see it coming with what they said. Big picture. And I posted something there, I'll cover it in my slide presentation. Has anybody here ever heard about the rule of 72? Anybody ever heard about that rule? Rule of 72? I got to thinking about this whole tariff thing. And I said to myself, oh, how smart is this? Anybody that does business in this country with our great companies are going to have to pay us at minimum 10%. I got to thinking, 10%? The world's got to pay the US 10%? Well, what does that do to you in your pocketbook? Here's what it does, okay? What it does is it means that in 7 years, if you don't have any other thing, your net worth's going to double. Can everybody here stand and doubling their net worth over the next 7 years? I'm just curious. That's with just laying back and living in America. Yeah. So I got all excited about that this morning. I'll forget what time I posted. We'll go through some of this stuff when I get going. But I've had a day today. It started in Europe when I woke up. And this is sort of like lunchtime for me right now. So I'm drinking tea already. I already went through all the coffee I can go through. I'm going to tea. But the point being is, what an opportunity. And I want to thank all those people that were with me last night and that did get up and see what I was doing. I was trying to make you some money and wasn't just trying, we were doing it. And that's the beauty of doing this. And so let me get into the slide presentation. Anybody got any questions they want to ask me before? I'd like to get all the questions out of the way before I get into my slide presentation. Ask me what, okay. What is the rule of 72? Well, the rule of 72 is you divide the interest rate into 72. It tells you how many years it would take for your money to double on your investment. So if you divide 10% interest into 72, it's 7.2 years, okay? John said, how did I know to get up in the middle of the night? John, I guess that internal clock of mine thinking about what I saw when I went to bed woke me up. And I just woke up. I don't do it like I used to. That's how, back in the day when I had a Globex terminal, I definitely did it, okay? But there's a couple points I want to make, okay? Number one, I don't care if you agree with Trump or disagree with Trump, his methods. The bottom line is his policies and what he's doing is really going to help your situation. You might not see it, but it's going to help it. And I would tell those people that are going to second guess them, don't be like Wall Street. Wall Street's getting killed this morning because they're sitting on the sidelines telling everybody to go silent. Okay, right? Everybody seeing that, hearing that? Todd, it's not in there. It's a special signal created as an indicator. I'm beta tested in TNT right now. Okay. Now, Barry, I'm going to answer your question in my slide. I've got an opinion. I'll talk about it. Okay. Be a little patient with the question. Yeah. Okay. There's risk involved in trading. Past performance is not indicative of future results. Now, notice we wrote in the flash meeting this morning. I have a 3 p.m. wrap up and futures first tonight, right? It's Monday. In my opinion, this is my opinion, and I'm biased. Get the right tools, listen, get a game plan, and let's make some money together. That's my opinion. Got to have the right tools. You got to have the right open mind. I tell people to trade what they see. That's the best way to go with numbers, okay? In my opinion. Now, y'all remember me showing this to you, okay? Y'all remember me showing this to you? All right, let me tell you where we are, in my opinion, okay? The market's come off those lows down there. If you notice May, somewhere around mid-May, third week of May, you're going to get another sell-off, okay? And that'll be doubt on probably the biggest thing that has to be done that he can't do by himself. He's got to have Congress, and that is the big, beautiful bill, okay? If that big, beautiful bill passes, I expect after July, this market will soar. So let's just say you're sitting here, you're not in any stocks and everything like that. Towards the end of June, you've got to start committing to great stocks. I've already started with a couple right now. I will keep doing that in my long-term approach, but this is, I think, a great buying opportunity. And right now, it's a great trading opportunity. By the way, the VIX is down to 20, so that's coming back into speed. But these are the kind of things. This is the roadmap I'm sort of following. Does everybody see that? Where at the end of May or right at the end of May it gets a little shaky again? That'll probably be on doubt whether the tax bill is going to pass, because you got a lot of showboaters out there, and they'll be doing that. Okay, that's what you got to expect. This is relative; they can be off a week or whatever. But this is generally an outline you ought to pay attention to. Okay, this morning we had a pretty good morning, closing out a bunch of stuff. 69% on an XSP trade for 25 cents in fine time. 16% on NVIDIA. And if you made any of these trades, tell me you made it. It tells me which programs you're in. 16% NVIDIA for one ticker in Zebra. 52% on the QQQ for LTS. Now, the weekend side hustle has made a big return. Weekend Profits Club or Weekend Sites has made a big return when I changed that strategy. Look at these gains we're making every week in that sucker. Goodness gracious. Palantir, we took 11% profit on Palantir. And guys, you got to listen and make money. Okay? And Oscar's smiling. He made some money in my TQQ trade. Like I said, if you don't know what to do, the market's going up, you buy the TQQ. Keep it simple. Bob said, I made all those. Now, everyone that's paying attention loves this beta test I'm running in TNT called the sunrise signal. It comes out, write this time down, at 8:10 in the morning. It's going to tell you whether the overnight trading is bullish or bearish, and you can use that to position yourself for the open, okay? Lynn said the profits were amazing. Kevin said up 3,000. All right. Way to go, Kevin. Now, everyone's loving it. That's a beautiful picture that we got for the sunrise signal. It comes out. What do you got to remember about the sunrise signal? Time. In TNT, it's posted at 8:10 at TNT. Here's what it said this morning. Market's rallying, new highs, new that. It's a simple analysis. See that white, everybody see that white line right there? I don't know, John, if you can circle it or not. But notice how we broke that white line right there. Everybody see that? That told me, hey, they're going to do some rebalancing here. Okay, that's what it told me. Okay. Then in numbers, said the E-mini, NASDAQ, Dow, Russell. If you're a futures trader, this is great. QQQ, SPY, all that was headed lower. Okay, which told me I had my whole account committed to cash at this time, And I said, I'm taking everything down because I can get back in, right? Okay. And that's exactly, I knew about the rebalancing. It was occurring. How many people think that one indicator could help you every day, knowing that at 10 after 8 in the morning? Especially if you're my futures first, right? Okay, but Frank said it already did. Now, pretty cool stuff. Okay. Sunrise. Just went in correction mode, still bullish, but stand by to 10. I'm waiting for RB3. I'm still waiting to get things, okay? Pretty good. Look what Bruce did. Look what Bruce did. Golly, Bruce, pat yourself on the back with both hands. I have a simple process. Learn the process, repeat the process, goals make money, okay? I always say the markets wait on no one. The early riser, and 8:10 is not too early to get up, is it? 8:10? Even in California, you could get up if you wanted to. You wouldn't have to, but you could. The early riser finds great opportunity. Folks, I started early this morning, like I said. Michael said, I'm in Oregon, and I got up. Way to go, Michael. Folks, I started early this morning, okay? I said a news conference at 3 a.m., market was surging, TQQ now at 65. That sucker surged. MU was bought. MU was a new buy. Notice I put new buy, 91. Tesla at the time was 319. And then I always plug my book, Markets Never Sleeps. AMT, now 108. It went to 111 after this posting. That was early. MTI, I posted MTI, how I got you long. Keep you in unless we break 57.57. That's the current all bets off number. Last night, the open price was 57.61. And there's the number for the day right there, at 57.57. Rob Jeffries has said, I've spent all morning taking profits, hadn't had time to say thank you. I would like to get a few. Speaking of that, I'd like to get a few love letters to TG at DTI Trader where everybody can see what they're missing, okay? 50% on a TQQ by Marianne. Remember, look at today's action in light of the end of March, and now you will hear a lot of BS. This is where I just heard some guy get on there and act like he knew what he was talking about, actually defrauding people what he was saying. I'm just going to tell you. He was trying to say the deal that Trump made was no good or whatever, and I said he misses the big picture. Today's an old-fashioned face pill. Read my book, and I tell you what that is, okay? DTI is laughing all the way to the bank, and we've been laughing. Watch reference bars for short-term direction. I told people use that secret weapon inside the roadmap. Here's some more postings I made this morning. Magic 5, Tesla. I said if it goes greater than 322, it's a new buy. MU, 91.55. AMD, I'm already long. NVIDIA goes above 122.5, and the TQQ can't figure out what to do. Okay. Way to go, Jim. 720 bucks. Stuff, I hope you're copying this stuff. That's great stuff they're posting. I said the pivot number is 57.75. I've given you the all bets off number. Now we got to wait when it's time to go again. I'm not done. Early takes. U.S. is leading the world. Shorts are yelling and screaming. These guys get on there. If you go check their portfolio, they're either out of the market or losing money because they thought it was going lower. I said, sell. This is one I've had a lot of good with. I've said, MSTU, buy it and sell the $11 call expires this week. I thought it was a good trade. RB Trader, when it tells you to do it inside the roadmap, and MTI to manage your trades. We have the tools, we have the numbers. At the end of the day, we are the real deal. Take profit on BITO at 22. That was the last of my BITO. I sold off this morning at 22. I'm looking for Bitcoin to go to 125,000. Next stop, this is where I warn people when I post this, 810, got to pay attention. Okay, that was 810. See, that was at 412 when I posted that. Here's a thought. Now I'm talking about the rule of 72. It takes 7.2 years for the money to double. It seems the master tariff plan to charge all countries at least a minimum of 10% to trade with us. Now think about your share of that windfall. It is a true golden age. In other words, your net worth should double, okay, in the next 7.2 years. I said, sign me up. I'm talking to myself. I didn't have anybody else to talk to at that time of the morning, but it came to me at 4:26 in the morning, the master plan. I think I'm right on this, okay? I think I'm right. Does this help you when you're thinking about what's going on when I put it in words like this? Because it really came to me this morning how to explain what we're seeing. That's it. There's AMD. Said we're up 10% on it this week. And I always say this, you know me, when the odds are not in their favor, I'll type in patience will always pay. Now, even if futures have seen the high of 57.73 and thereby broken the trend, the move up is a bit excessive and also breaks away from the calming influence in the market, even the heart of earnings season. This could be a one-off issue, especially with news over the weekend. However, keep our eye out for corrective behavior. The trading part is to watch the morning as it integrates U.S. cash market, which is a global market move. For that, you need to see reference bar 3 develop. Chuck and I are on the same sheet of music. I didn't talk to Chuck. He posted that because he's my longest running employee. He knows how I think. He just read my mind. Good job, Chuck. That was posted in TNT. Now, this is RB3 this morning, 58.51. Everybody see that high on RB3, 58.51? Circle that high, Jonathan. Can you circle that high? This is important for everybody to see. That is your breakup number once the correction's over. You got it right now, right there, until we go to RB. Why? Genesis. That's the best I can tell you about the current market. 58.51. Okay? So I got it sort of framed, don't I? All right, folks, I want to ask you this question again. I think it's the easiest way I can make a point. Who would pay $200 a month to get this kind of information every day? Have your own research lab to go to and put you in the right place. Who would pay that? Tell me yes if you would. This is a 24-hour T-Bus talk and trade. Kevin says, I'd pay it and I do gladly. Okay. Yep. $200 a month to get that. Pretty cool. It is a research. That's where I go when I'm looking for stuff. I got help. Jonathan helps and Chuck Crow helps. Claire, new to us, fell in love with my Magic 5. That's where I pick 5 stocks to make money off of each day. Okay. She had a nice start with me. Way to go, Claire. I like that name, Claire. Now, to give everybody a choice today, I've established 3 levels of membership. These 3 levels of membership will be the $200 a month, will be a 3-month, I guess you'd call it a trial or whatever. And then the big one I put out there today is the VIP, which I would go for the VIP because the VIP is not offered often, but I am going to offer it today, VIP. Go to dtitrader.com/TNT, call 904-706-3532 if you got any questions. But we're going to take 10 minutes here, and then I'm going to come back and we're going to talk about a stock that I think is going to go from its present to 107. Y'all interested in that? Get joined in TNT. I'm going to show people how to make that money. Okay? So come back in 10 minutes. We'll put a thing up there. And those that are not members of TNT, pick one of the levels of membership, but don't do. Remember, this week we're releasing the option blueprint. That's where we go out 45 days after July. It'll give you 5 stocks. You can play long-term options. $200 a month, Michael, $200 a month. Got any questions? Call this number, 904-706-3532. Jonathan, check and see if Mary Ann's VIP.
All right, no problem.
Yeah, I don't know how many we're going to let go of that, but I'm going to do it while I'm talking at least. That's lifetime, no extra charges. I've got a lot of people that's joined as VIP. They say, what a great decision they made. 24-hour coverage in the market, starts on Sunday night, goes through to Friday at 8 o'clock. If I see something, that's how I posted BitTo in there when it was at 18. Said, buy it. 9 minutes, I'll be back. Bill, I do trades. I thought I was clear about that. I do trades in there. I can't let you be paying uneducated people. I let the uneducated pay you. Three levels of membership. The $200 a month. I've got a quarterly membership, and then of course I got the VIP. Pick one and go with it. If you join VIP, type in here, I just took the VIP because I'm going to cut that down after a certain number I see, okay? I don't like the VIPs, but I do it for people that really see the picture. Hey, Jonathan. I can't hear him. Susan, I took my profit on BitTo. I'll re-enter later, but I did take my profit on BitTo. Hey, during this time period, since I'm waiting for you to get signed up, if you got any other questions, ask and I can answer them. Yeah, Oscar, put your phone number here. I'll give you a call. Yes. Patricia wants a call for Jeffrey. No, Bill, I got trades from day trades to swing trades to long-term trades. I got all kinds of trades. Oscar, I didn't copy your phone number if you're going to put it in here. Okay. Lynn, did you read how to add? For example, once you take your core position, you got to be higher on Tuesday than you were on Monday to add. That hadn't happened since the very first entry. Willard, my ultimate target's $245. You want me to say that again? He's asking me what my target is for AMD. I don't know how long it's going to take to get there, but that's my ultimate target on that stock, 245 bucks. Sounds a little wild, doesn't it? That's where it was in 2023. I can't imagine somebody doesn't want to know at 10 after 8 what to do in the market. That's just, I'm beside myself on that one if you don't join. Way to go, Kevin. Nice trade. Got in that Tesla when we did. Love hearing those stories. Hey, Jonathan, how about stopping the recording and let's do a new recording for this next session? I got some stuff I want to capture.